Hi, today we're doing the Tao Te Ching Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is a little bit of a harder one than Chapter 1. It sort of goes in a couple of different places. You'll notice from the multiple translations that they're trying to address a few topics and they hit it from a few different angles because each of us is going to hear the clarity in a different way. John Woo historically has been one of my favorites. This one I don't think he hits the mark super easy at the beginning. When all the world recognizes beauty as beauty, this in itself is ugliness. Hendricks, when everyone in the world knows the beautiful is beautiful, ugliness comes into being. When the people of earth know beauty is beauty, there arises the recognition of ugliness. Cleary's is pretty poor. When everyone knows beauty is beauty, this is bad. So, Feng and English. Under heaven, all can see beauty as beauty only because there is ugliness. All can know good as good only because there is evil. Therefore, having and not having arise together. So, what's really being said here is by creating a strong label or judgment on one side, you define the opposite. So, if we define any characteristic, if we say a particular flower is beautiful, then the other one would be less beautiful by comparison, and we could even say ugly. Unfortunately, we see that a lot with people and how we define what beauty is, and the opposite is then labeled as ugly, which is problematic. Now, again, me saying it's even problematic is a judgment of sorts, so I'm falling into the trap that they're describing. And that's really, really an important thing for us to know that the release of judgment is in itself the ultimate freedom. So, I'll go back to Wu. When all the world recognizes good as good, this in itself is evil. Indeed, the hidden and manifest give birth to each other, or as Lao says, thus something and nothing produce each other. Chan, therefore being and non-being produce each other, so from the non-manifest comes the manifest, and from the manifest projects into the non-manifest. And that's a hard concept to grasp from the outside. It's one of those ones that that's through stillness that we're able to really feel that. For truly, as Whaley says, for truly being and not being grow out of one another. Cleary doesn't even go there. Yeah, so being and non-being produce each other. Difficulty and ease complement each other. Long and short shape each other. High and low contrast with each other. Voice and echoes conform to each other. Before and after go along with each other. So sages manage effortless service and carry out unspoken guidance. All beings work without exception. So I'm going to go back to a different one. I'll go do Lin. Therefore, the sage manages the affairs without action. That's more important because what really more and more is we try to solve problems with the mind. A lot of the time, the problems are solved by letting go of the problem and letting everything happen. Letting go of control actually gives us control. So, manages the affairs without action, preaches the doctrine without words. And the sage Ramana Maharshi was very much my teaching is through silence. All things take their rise, but he does not turn away from them. He gives them life, but does not take possession of them. The grasping, the action of grasping causes things to go away. So by being present and enjoying what we have when we have it, allows us to hold it more than when we try to hold on to something. Like if we, let's say, achieve a higher level of consciousness temporarily and try to hold on to it, that will push it away. But if we sink into it and bask in it and enjoy it for what it is and understand it is not to be controlled, then we get to ride that wave, so to speak. So, all things take their rise, but he does not turn away from them. Accomplishes but claims no credit. It is because he lays claim to no credit that the credit cannot be taken away from him. So this would be from Whaley. Achieves his aims but does not call attention to what he does, because that's a humility. It's stepping away from the arrogance and from the ego build. those that need to know will know what one has done. When you start broadcasting it, that's actually a show of weakness and insecurity. Creating yet not possessing, working yet not taking credit. Work is done, then forgotten. Therefore, it lasts forever. Yeah, that's really, and the line before that, which is really powerful. The sage goes about doing nothing, teaching, no talking. The 10,000 things rise and fall without cease. It's a constant process of creation, discreation, or destruction and creation. This is the wheel of life. And in showing the contrast, actually, of what's beautiful and not beautiful, we've been extremely heavily tilted in our society towards chasing after the light while running away from the dark, demonizing the dark. And that's created underlying pathologies. It makes it very difficult to fully be present in ourselves. It makes a fair amount of work that we have to do, shadow work or clearing work, in order to be fully present in ourselves. So it's a pretty powerful one. Yeah, right there, Hendrix. I like this one. Therefore, the sage dwells in non active affairs and practices the wordless teaching. The 10,000 things arise, but he doesn't begin there. He acts on their behalf, but he doesn't make them dependent. So that's working, that's being in flow and really working in harmony. Tao is the watercourse way. He accomplishes his tasks, but he doesn't dwell on them. He's able to let go of the works that he's done as opposed to becoming attached to them and having them hold him back. It is only because he doesn't dwell on them that they therefore do not leave him. So, pretty good chapter. It's a pretty good chapter. Hope you got something out of this. I'll see you on the next one.